don't know what they're. How do you not know where that's from?
I've heard it before, but I don't know where it's from.
Oh my gosh, it is. I've seen that movie no less than 1,000 times. No, it's from Money Talks, by the way.
Oh yeah, and that's actually one of my favorite movies.
I've seen that movie no less than 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite movies. Welcome to the Fear the Hive 1155 podcast, guys. Sorry, that kind of went. We have like this countdown as it gets us into the episode, and we were still kind of talking on the last thing that before we got on the air. But hey, this is my co-host Steven, and I'm your other co-host Dom, and we have a decent amount of stuff to get through today. If we don't, we will definitely carry that into the next episode. We're talking about men's fragility, Cowboy Carter, the bridge and earthquake. Oh man, Earth's going to hell in a handbasket, isn't it?
It seems like it.
And some bean pies. We'll try to get to the.
I don't think we're gonna get to the bean pies. I don't think we're gonna get to the bean pies. I think if someone has made sufficient progress in X-Men, we might be able to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Or the fact that Godzilla sucked.
The new Godzilla sucked?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
All right.
We'll talk about it.
All right. Well, go ahead and kick us off, man.
Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start?
I like the first topic. It's nice. It's different.
That's heavy, though.
Well, we need to because, yes, we need to.
It's like a G-Dog on a fly tip. hanging with the posse, cutting in the crib. What?
Victim own son.
There's a generation that has no idea what that's from.
Yeah.
Victim own junior.
And Sammy Davis Jr. He got himself in some crap.
Getting in some trouble. You are my first, my last, my everything.
Yeah, that is. Oh my gosh! Like, I know a lot of people got introduced to Chris Tucker from Rush Hour, but yeah, mine was Money Talks, and Money Talks is like way up there compared to. Not that Rush Hour is bad. I'm just saying that Money Talks is up there.
Okay, so Chris Tucker he was one of a few people in Hollywood, especially Black Hollywood, that came out the gate with 3 movies that are legendary: Friday, Money Talks, and then Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Not too many people come out the gate with 3 back-to-back movies that are just bangers. Legendary, right?
Straight bangers.
I mean, people of my age range will understand, but Eddie Murphy came out and he had Beverly Hills Cop.
Yep.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Which they're redoing.
Then he did like Golden Child, and then he did 48 Hours. Then he did Beverly Hills Cop 2 or something. And I forgot what order it was in. Like those are 3 of his first movies, and not many people do not have, like Denzel don't have that. Jamie Foxx don't have that. Like and it set him up for life.
Oh yeah.
So but
like I think people were still mad that Smokey wasn't in the second Friday after next.
Well, he found Jesus. He didn't want to do all that cursing on screen. So
I don't blame him. But then also I think here, hot take. I think O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son, and DC Young Fly could have did a pretty good sequel of Friday.
Yeah. See, yeah, okay. Yeah, it'd be a whole lot different, right? They have to modernize it. You can't take the same template. Like, it'd have to be Friday in essence, just not in screenplay at all. Because there's so many things that are completely different, right? Everything around drugs in California, marijuana, California is different. But I think that they could as well. I would actually be interested in watching it, knowing that, knowing what if they're shooting for that. Even if the reviews are bad, I still give it.
Yeah, I would
because they said Friday wasn't the greatest when it came out as well, but we all know it was a cult classic. It's
a Black staple. If you're Black and you haven't seen Friday, there's something wrong with you,
man. Oh, dude, did I tell you? Okay, so over spring break, I let my kids. I said I'm going to force my kids to watch some black movies from the '90s that are age appropriate. You know, so I don't have to worry about that black card at all. Right?
How'd that go?
It went well. It went well. I'm going to do it all summer long, right? Because there's a bunch of movies, and as they get older, you know, and as they get, you know, there's some other movies I can let them see, right? But tell me why they love Major Payne now.
That is okay. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
There's a monster in your room. He's in your room. Yeah, he's right there. He's right there. In that closet right there. Yeah. Blam. If you in there, you ain't happy.
You want me to take your mind off that pain?
Yo, they say that all the time, and I'd be like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
And business is good.
So much. They absolutely loved it. And I was like, see, this is the kind of joy that I want you to get out of a movie experience.
Oh, yeah.
With depictions of blackness that are comical and that are good comedy, not this bad stuff. Like when they get older, we'll watch Above the Rims and Higher Learnings and all that good stuff. But right now, oh my gosh, I'm trying to figure out what other movie. I let them watch Good Burger. Oh, Blended is newer, but I let them watch Blended. They love Blended. Not a black movie. Got a lot of black people.
I don't think I've seen Blended.
Blended's funny. Like there's a whole it falls in that genre of movie that is slapstick, stupid funny, but it's actually funny, right?
Okay.
You know, like Billy Madison is one of those movies, right? It's lowbrow humor, kinda, but executed very well.
Okay.
Right. So it's a good movie. I was trying to think there was another movie I had on tip of my tongue that's like that as well. But like there are things that and they appreciate as well, because another thing is they don't have as many coming of age stories as there were in the 90s or in the 2000s, early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
They're coming, but they're so spread out that you don't really, like, you're not forced to watch them because there's so many other things to watch. Like in the 90s, if you went to the movies to see a black movie, you only got to see the big ones. Or if you saw black people on TV, it was few and far between. So you had to watch your Martin. So you had to watch your, you know, Cosby. You had to watch your Fresh Prince. Or you had.
Have they seen Blue Streak yet?
See, I'm trying to find another movie that fits that. Blue Streak is one. Like, okay, so I got Nutty Professor. I got Life.
Oh, that's a good one.
All of those movies.
That's a good one.
Are movies that, you know, they show a version of blackness. Yeah, that doesn't have to be degrading. You know what I mean?
I put it like this: my guilty pleasure black movie, How High.
It's a cult classic. When they get old enough, like when my youngest son gets like 15, 16, then we'll watch How High.
Yes, sir, Dean Cain, sir.
I don't even remember it. I think I've only watched it one time. Sadly.
That's for me in high school, dude. That was like my go-to.
My wife loves that movie, by the way. She loves it. Absolutely loves it. But yeah, no, dude. Money Talks. We used to me and my wife watched that movie on DVD almost like every night before we went to bed. And it was so don't ever call me your homie, Frenchie. I used to know. I used to be able to do large segments of the movie, and it's just something about it. Like it's nostalgia for us now.
Yeah, my wife would do that with the kids. She'll put on a movie for them, and I'll come through and I'll just, because it's a movie I've seen like no less than 1,000 times, I memorize like all the words, and she's like, "Okay, you didn't have to do that." I'm like,
"Yes, I did."
I'm like, "You put it on, so all right, cool."
I mean, you have the remote. I'm just following suit, sweetheart. Oh my God. But yeah, okay. So here, I'll put this on show notes because I kind of want to talk about it, because I saw online, you know, that they got this thing where, you know, it's always a reality show about people dating. And the most recent one, the people stand in line, all the women or the men stand in line, and they got balloons, and the person walks out And when you find something about the person you don't like, or you want to take yourself out of the running for dating this person, you pop the balloon, right? It's ridiculous. Like, I would not subject myself to the possibility of that kind of scrutiny.
Yeah.
Because they do some of the most pitiful things. Like they pop balloons as people are walking out. Like, before they even start talking.
Man.
So, like, this video I saw is of this woman. She looked nice. She walked out. She had on skirt, heels, and all that good stuff. She didn't have on any bracelets, but whatever. I didn't notice until one of the guys pointed it out. But one of the guys popped his balloon because she ain't have no bracelets on. The other guy popped her balloon because he said she was too fit. Looked like she'd be able to beat him up. And I'm thinking to myself, how fragile are your egos?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
yeah, I can see that. It's like, yeah, what do you want? The perfect woman? Like, that doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
Well, to me, it made me want to have a conversation, like a real conversation around how men are so fragile with their ego and what things intimidate us, right? Like, I can speak from a standpoint, like, looking back, what intimidated me, because at this point, I'm very rarely intimidated by anybody or anything, right?
Right.
But I can remember being intimidated, and not necessarily having my ego messed with, but being intimidated, by tall women, like women that were as tall as me.
What?
Kind of
Really?
Well, first of all, I'm tall. I'm 6'2". Any woman that's 6'2", I mean, I was, but then I grew out of that real fast.
For me, in college, there was this one chick, and she was on the basketball team, and she was like 6'6", 6'7". I don't know what it was. It was just, I think, in most of my life, I've never felt short. So for a woman to make me feel short, I don't know what it was. I was like, you know what? I need to go talk to her.
Real talk, meeting anybody that's 6'8" used to be intimidating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of inches.
Yeah.
No diddy. It's a lot of inches.
No diddy.
I had to do it. I had to do it. But no, that's a lot. A person, no matter how, whether a girl or guy, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but then also, in a situation like that, she'd have to be accepting of the fact that her height makes it hard for her to find anybody else that is, her own height that she likes as well. So, I'm not saying that she would be settling or anything. It's just the fact that, you have to be realistic. Like, well, do I like this person? Do they fit somewhat of the height requirement, or are they too short?
Dude, I tell this to my wife all the time. Like, look, you do know that the percentage of men over 6 feet in the world is like 5% of men are over 6 feet.
Interesting.
Right. Well, I think it was 6'2" and above. 5% in the entire world. Right. So this whole idea of women want a guy that's 6'2" and such and such and such and such and such. I'm like,
you relegated yourself to just 5% of the world, to the men's population of the world.
First of all, let's all stop dreaming.
Yeah.
And let's be realistic about this, because there are lovely gentlemen that are not 6 feet tall. And if 6'2" is at the top of your list, if that's the filter at the top, it's like going to buy a house, and it's like putting at the top of your filter 4 bathrooms. Ain't a lot to choose from, homeboy.
And even if you do choose get those, it's like
you're gonna pay through the nose for it, right? So, but yeah,
so I'll say another topic that another aspect of a woman that is intimidating, or I've seen has been intimidating, is the fact that women mature faster than men, and especially like in the college age, they're more on, they're trying to get to, all right, I need a house, I need a job, blah blah whatever. Whereas, men in the college age, we're like, hey man, we're just, you have some that are still as well, on that level.
Just want to have fun.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. Hey, whatever, you want to go get dinner, you want to go out, you want to, go skinny dipping, whatever. In no specific order.
No
specific.
No. That was a stop sign.
It was not a stop sign. I was just throwing something out there that's kind of outrageous to do. Well, it never happened, but I am rather spontaneous. I've even told my wife, I'm like, because we have a pool, we have a public pool here, and I'm like, hey, you want to go skinny dip? And she's like, no. I'm like, why not? Like, I still have natures of, I'm still rebellious in certain aspects, like growing up overseas and whatnot. Every Friday night, we used to do stupid stuff. Like we would, there would be like military police patrolling the area or whatever. And we would throw trash cans, stuff out in the street. Like we were stupid. Like we were dumb. Like, but it was just for the thrill of running from the military police.
Okay. Again, stop saying. Not yellow sign. So the activities that you guys chose were specifically to gather the MP's attention so that you can then run from them?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I understood. Sometimes I don't be understanding. I be listening, but I don't be understanding. I just want to make sure I understand.
I mean, I've been with a group of guys where we're sitting in, like, they have like gazebos and different aspects that are like community property or whatever for people to kind of enjoy and do barbecues and whatnot. There's one time where I was there and, somebody lit like dry leaves on fire.
You tried to burn down the house?
And it was a pretty decent sized fire. Nothing burned down and nobody was hurt. But it was just, I
think by the grace of God should be added to that statement, because dry leaves, dude, you know how dangerous dry leaves are? Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
They are. Anyhow, I sound real old right now.
No, but yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what we did. We were thrill seekers, because we felt like we were stuck on an island. So, but yeah, back to the topic at hand.
Back to the topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so height intimidated me at one point. Is there anything else that intimidates you? Because I got like 3 things that used to intimidate me that don't no more. That do not anymore. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I think in my college days, there was a lot that intimidated me. Women that actually wanted commitment. Because I was, like I said, I was there for a good time, not a long time. So I didn't really care. So anybody was like, yeah, let's get in a relationship. It was like, no, that's not what I'm here for. What is it?
At least you're being honest.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a lot that intimidated me. It was just, especially it was just the commitment part at that time, because I was just like, well, whatever. But, I was definitely into women that, at least were, I don't know how to accurately put this. Women that were like mid-tier. Now, okay, I will say, yes, I like to look at the, we'll add that to the list too. Women that were super pretty.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I'm looking, the next guy's looking, or the next 5 guys are looking. And I don't feel like dating a woman that I would have to wonder every time we go out that everybody's looking.
Really?
Like, everybody's looking. Because then I'm going to be upset. I'm going to get self-conscious. I'm like, yo, what you looking at, man? Like, chill.
Oh, interesting.
That would annoy me.
Really?
Yes.
I typically didn't date girls that were not being heavily looked at by others. Like, I'm saying, and I did it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that you look. I know that you're looking. Mm-hmm. You want to know why? Because I am a great talent evaluator. Okay. Okay. I know that you're looking. Go ahead. Stare all you want. Make pleasant conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you desire to. I'm not intimidated by a man talking to the person that I'm with. Not at all. Not worried. Go ahead. Shoot your shot.
Man, the person that I was in college is radically different than who I am now. And that person, I want to say I had to have been juggling at least 3 or 4 women at a time.
Wow. At the same time? Why?
At the same time.
Okay, so clearly your philosophy was to have subs.
Yes.
Clearly your philosophy was to have subs.
Yes. Hey, what's up? What you got going on tonight? I want to go to dinner. Oh, you're not available? All right, cool. Hey, number 2, what's up? What you doing?
That man said, let me call. I know it's Wednesday, but let me call Tuesday and see what's going on.
I mean,
you free tonight? Oh, you want to see me on Wednesday? It ain't even Tuesday. Yeah, right. You've been upgraded.
But yeah, I mean that's just like in college. That's the way I was. Like it wasn't until I met my wife and I was just like something drastically happened when I met my wife. I was like, okay, well, maybe I think I am ready to settle down and be in a relationship. And it was ironically while I was working at Best Buy for you.
Really?
And it was just like, I think I'm ready to settle down. And, and then at one point, I was out in the dating pool. And for me, it was like, all these single women, there's just something off about them. Like they're maybe just the ones that I ran into. But then I opened up my spectrum, was like, you know what? I'm gonna start dating women that have kids.
Yeah, that'll change you.
Yeah, and that's what happened when I met my wife. I was like, yeah, you know what, this is actually pretty cool, and it just went from there. But yeah, like I said, that's why I say, like, who I am now compared to who I was complete night and day, because it was just for juggling those women was just for the thrill. And some women, it would just be for conversation. I wouldn't even see them.
Yeah, I get that. I remember those times as well. Like I went through a phase where I wasn't juggling women, but I had different women for different things. Like,
right.
Well, that's actually not correct. Not that time period. I'm trying, because I was thinking, like, before I met my wife, like I went through this 1.5 period where I was like, I don't want to date nobody. Right. But I like to do stuff. Right.
Speaking of my wife.
and I had a little bit of money. So I would like meet people and like do things with them. Generally things that you would do with somebody you're with, like going to an Anthony Hamilton concert or going to like Capitol Grill or, like these things that, in my youth, arrogantly, I wouldn't do these things by myself. Like, no.
Yeah.
No. So we'd go to the concert, and then after that, I wouldn't call you no more, because that's not how it was. And I made it clear, like, I just go to the concert.
Yeah.
But then, you got to deal with the backlash from that, because being too honest in a relationship, bad thing.
Which brings up another thing. When women say, just be honest, it's like, well, could you actually handle me being that honest?
The answer is no. Women, how can I say this and not get in trouble? Do you want to take the bullet? You want me to take the bullet today?
I mean, we both take the bullet, man. We partners in crime on this.
I'm going to say this, and you can co-sign if you want to. But you don't have to if you don't want that bullet. Like, if you don't want that smoke, you don't want that bullet, that's fine.
Hey, I'm married already. Whatever. I'm used to taking bullets, man.
But okay. And then I got a question for you.
All right.
Women, by and large, don't know what they want.
That is true.
Like, you really, and if they know, they're not really confident in communicating it in a way that you can, without having to translate, you fulfilling or meeting that need. Right. And men are similar. Although men know more of what they want, they still have a hard time communicating it in a way women can rise to that occasion, right?
Yeah, we don't speak women, and women don't speak men.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the conversion. No. No. I'm talking about, to me, for men, we have a hard time saying it the way that we think is going to get across, right? Like, we go through this thing, and any man that's in a relationship knows, A, you have to pick your battles. B, in the battles that you pick, you need to pick the right time. And C, the battle that you pick, the right time that you pick it, it needs to be said either in the right mindset or in the right tone for this to work, right?
Right.
And by and large, sometimes men don't want to go through all of that. That's when we know what we want to say. When we don't exactly know what we want to say, it gets even worse, because we leave breadcrumbs and women are trying to follow it, and they can't follow anything. They can jump to conclusions, but we don't give them enough to get them where we want them to be. They just take everything that we leave, and then they jump to whatever conclusion is there at the moment, right? Which is not really their fault, because you haven't given them enough information. They're not informed decision makers.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. Women, on the other hand, women be knowing exactly what they want. They don't be wanting to ask for it.
Right? Women in the comments, please let us know.
Like they'll, in the times where they know exactly what they want, most times they don't really want to ask for it. And then when they don't know what they want, they don't really want to say that they don't know what they want.
Yeah, like when I ask my wife, what do you want for dinner?
Prime example. They never know what they want for dinner until
they know
start.
But they know what they don't want. Yeah.
Okay. Which means when you ask her what she wanted for dinner, she could have said, I'm not exactly sure, but I don't want X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to say that. You want to know why? Because that's too close to making a decision. It's too close to her telling us exactly what she wants. So she'll wait for us to start talking about the things that we might want to eat.
Yeah.
Then she'll add something like, yo, I don't want that, or I had this last week, or I had this for lunch.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you could have told me that. We could have skipped all of this. But that's a part of the communication thing. How did we get all the way over here? I wanted to ask you, what about your wife intimidated you when you met her?
So there was an aspect of my wife that she portrayed when we first got together, that she was nice. And, she's, from South, deep South, blah, blah, whatever.
she portrayed that she was nice. I know her now. She's not nice.
Right. And it was interesting. And, I saw, I saw her passion.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, and like when she really got passionate about something, she got real stonewallish about it. Like, yo, I want it. This is what I want. Nothing's gonna stop me. And I was like, whoa, that's okay. That's different. It was for a little bit. It was slightly intimidating, but also inspiring. So it was like, okay, you learn to not look at it as being. You have to check yourself, number one, and say, well, you know what? Yeah, it was intimidating at first, but then you have to understand where she's coming from, where that person's coming from with that. And you're like, oh, well, all right then. Okay. Yeah, it's not as intimidating anymore, but still kind of scary. What about you, man?
That's interesting.
Let me run down the list.
Because the list is very short. I mean, when I met my wife, you gotta understand, I was me. was not a whole lot of intimidating that was happening at that point in my life, right? Because I'm like 4.5 years older than my wife. So when we met, she was like 20, getting ready to turn 21. I was 24. I had done more dating than she had, right? And so I wasn't really. But what was intimidating? Well, two things, right? She liked to travel for real, right? Right. And her parents had a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. The money by itself, the money would have been fine. By itself, traveling would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put them together, when you don't know someone, like when she told me she flew home every weekend, I was like, okay, maybe I'm out of my league a bit. You know what I mean? Because I got money, right? We were in college. I was living off campus.
Yeah.
Right. I had my car, I had my surround sound system. Like I was doing well, but she told me she flew home every weekend. I was like,
okay.
Fly.
Yeah. It's one thing to drive, but it's like fly. Oh, wow.
Look, noted. Right. And I didn't understand at the time. Her mother was a flight attendant, so it wasn't like she buying a ticket.
All the pieces of the puzzle were not. All the pieces were not given to you.
They were not there. We're not there. Yeah. They're not there. And then when we started talking, she was telling me how, she was very focused on her goals, right? Mm-hmm. And only had a broad idea of what I wanted to do when I got out of college, right? And so that was intimidating as well. Right. Mm-hmm. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. Like she knew exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, when I get this degree, I'm probably gonna move to Atlanta, go to the divinity school, probably. We'll see.
We'll see. Let it play out.
And she was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't know? I was like, is that a bad thing?
Am I supposed to?
I can know more. I mean,
I can know more if you want me to.
Yeah, I mean, I keep some notes in my head a little bit more detailed, but now that's what I'm rolling with.
It's written in pencil right now. I can
etch a sketch. Sometimes I look at it and go, all over.
Yeah. New plan.
That's how old I am. I know what an Etch-a-Sketch is. That's how old you are. You know
my
what an
boys,
Etch-a-Sketch is.
my boys have an Etch-a-Sketch.
Really, I have to get my children an Etch-a-Sketch. They haven't had one. I don't think my youngest one's ever had an Etch-a-Sketch. I'm gonna have to get
It
one
is
this weekend.
mesmerizing at times because you're just like, all right, let me try and make this and make this. And then whatever, always what happens is you get a good thing going and then you hit the wrong thing. You're like, dang it. Just forget it.
But yeah, so that was, my wife was beautiful. That was not intimidating to me because I dated beautiful and that was just a thing of mine. But she knew what she wanted, and that intimidated me more than anything else. And so, or at least for that point in her life, she knew what she wanted. But at that point in my life, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted, except for knowing that I wanted her and a future with her. So, Yeah.
Now, I will say on the beauty thing, like I've never been the type for a lot of makeup. So I guess like some of the women that were like really into like, heavy lip gloss, the eyeshadow on it, that was really not a thing to me. Like even with my wife, like I've told her plenty of times, like she'll be getting ready for work and I'm just like, what are you doing? She's like, put on makeup. I'm like, for what? Like I don't require, I don't require it. If you want to, that's perfectly fine. Now there have been times recently when her cousin got married, when she had to put on makeup, and I was just like, we really don't have to go to that wedding. We can just,
it's Thursday today.
Yeah, it's like we can just stay here in the room, it's whatever, But unfortunately, she was the matron of honor, so I was like,
yeah, she had to do the thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess you do have to go, but
yeah.
Dang it. But yeah, I mean, I would say like if I did meet a woman whose family had like, who was like loaded, like let's say millionaires or whatever, that would be slightly intimidating because then you just start like, well, I mean, not that a woman needs you for money, but it's just like, well, this woman can get anything herself, or she would just ask her family for it and her family can get it for her, and you're just like, then what am I doing?
Dude, so when was it Thanksgiving or Christmas? I went with her for Christmas to meet her parents. Her mom, at that particular point in time, had 2 houses.
Oh my!
She had a house, and a house with a pool, mind you. Anybody that had a house with a pool back in the 90s?
Yeah, you was doing all right.
Doing all right. And then she had just bought another house. Now, here's the thing. I stayed at the house with the pool. She stayed at the other house, right? I think that's what it was. But the other house, that house was a 6,000 square foot house, almost 6,000 square feet. Like it was a house that had like a basement that was unfinished.
Right.
So it was kind of like a ranch style with a basement. And on the regular level, it was 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, 1, 2, 3.5 bathrooms. Right. But it was almost 3,000 square feet on the first level. And then the bottom level duplicated that. And I walked in that house and I was like, she just sold the house, but mom had a baby grand piano in the foyer. You know how big your foyer has to be to accommodate a baby grand? Like a functional baby grand piano. And I was like, I'm going to set my game up. Like, I enjoy high-end things, but clearly I'm going to have to step my game up. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, other than that, got along great. I mean,
Yeah.
And now.
And plus, you see a lot of women, straight out of college and whatnot, when they get their first big girl job and whatnot, the first thing they get, at least in the Black community, is like that Lexus, that Mercedes, depending on how, depending on what their job is or whatever, or how much money they're making. The BMW, the land, all the women at one point want to drive a Range Rover. Like my wife still want to drive a Range Rover. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Money pit.
Yeah, exactly. They're horrible cars actually. And as an adult now, what am I, 34? You look at that and you're like, oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's real nice. Yeah, how much is your maintenance on? You start going through the adult things. So it's like.
So here's the thing. This is what I told my man. Derek. Right? People that buy Range Rovers are people that don't care that they break down.
Yeah.
Because they're just gonna get another one.
Yeah.
Like if my car breaks down on the side of the road, not only has something gone terribly wrong, I am terribly inconvenienced because I only hop in my car when I have someplace to go. People that buy Range Rovers, if their car breaks down, they'll get another one in an hour. They don't care that they have to wait. Yeah. You want to know why? Because wherever they're going and whatever they're doing, we'll wait on them.
Yes.
I am not there yet.
No, I'm not there
yet. So there will be no Range Rover in this house.
Yeah.
But I understand it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's exactly why, like, you know, a lot of consideration went into whether we were going to go electric now, because it was like, well, you know, I'm tired of the maintenance thing. Like, I just want to get my car and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, my payment's probably a little bit higher than the norm, but at least I know it's always ready to go when I'm ready to go.
Dude, I'm so close. Let me not say that.
Well, what? No. Bring it back. Come on.
Bring it back to what?
Say it. Come on, say it.
No,
Come on, Steve.
I had a moment this week.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out that Tesla in-house finances.
Oh, yeah. I think that's relatively new.
It is. And I was this close.
I mean, at least it run you like 3.
As long as it's under 7, I'm fine. 3?
I'm just saying.
As long as it's under 7. I'm not even least now. I'd have to. No, we'll have that conversation the other day. All I'm saying is I was this close to clicking explore financing. I was this close.
Interesting.
I figured you would enjoy that.
I've got some work to do.
They almost got me. They almost got me, yo. They almost got me.
They still almost got you.
But the resale value is horrible. Like, if you get it, you're going to keep it forever. Unless you're selling it back to them. The resale value is horrible.
Yeah, you don't buy it to resell it.
No, but for someone that generally switches their car every 4-5 years.
But that's because, okay. This isn't on the show notes, people. But why do you switch your cars every 4 or 5 years? Why?
Because I like to drive different stuff. You might need some context. Ask me how many cars I've owned in my lifetime.
Okay, well, let's go in the last 10 years.
In the last 10 years, I've calmed down over the last 10 years. Okay. 1, that were just mine. That were just my cars. 1, 2, 10 years. 1, 2, 3. 3 in the last that were just mine. 3 in the last 10 years.
Okay.
3. That's it. Well, no, 4. 4 in the last 10 years.
Okay.
All right. But then again, that's calm. That's a good 10 years for me. Because when I was like from 16 to 26, I had like 12 cars. Don't ask me how I own 12 cars.
The how is neither here nor there.
It's neither here nor there, nor either.
I'll put it like this. And for me, these vehicles, I probably won't change. Except now I am.
How do you not change? Cars are like shoes to me.
Well, no. So my fixation on cars was looks at one point. Like at one point as a kid, I wanted like a 911 turbo, blah, blah, whatever. But it got to a point to where when I started owning them, I was like, okay, well, and apparently until I owned my Tesla, what I was looking for was a car that was low on maintenance. 2, I hated buying a new car and then the next year they come out with a feature that I wanted. So that was another thing. When I got to the Tesla, that is a almost 5-year-old car. And they still support it. And any new feature that comes out, I still get. So that's and I didn't know that's what it was until I got this thing and was like, oh man, I wonder if I'm going to get this feature. And sure enough, it popped up in the software update. I was like, you know what? I think this is what I've been missing all my life. But other than that, the only other car that I truly really liked was my 2017 Honda Civic. I don't know why, but it was like my wife, because at one point we bought a Civic and an Accord together at the same time. They were both 2017s, brand new and whatnot. And, you know, my wife was like, yeah, I'm going to get the Accord. She was like, well, what are you getting? You're going to get an Accord too? I was like, nah, I actually want a Civic. She was like, you want a smaller car? I was like, yes. I don't know why.
Gas mileage.
Yeah. That thing got 32 to 35 miles per gallon on 10-gallon tank. So it was great. But also it had the sunroof. It had, it was nice and gray. It had the seats that I wanted because this is when Civic crossed over and it wasn't as small on the inside as it used to be.
Yeah, so they started making it larger to fit a different segment. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, yeah, you know what, this is actually pretty cool. And so yeah, that's what got me. But that's what got me to the electric vehicles. I was just like, well, you know, I think this is exactly what I'm looking for. But no, I feel you, because at first I wanted a charger.
You want to last long on a charger.
I wanted a charger, but then I was like,
but I understand dude, it's so much about feel. Have you ever ridden in a 911? Let's start there. Have you ever driven one?
No.
Okay. It's a great car to drive. It's a horrible car to ride in. If you want to, it's a great car to drive. If you want a ride, you have to get like a Panamera. Or I forgot what the other one was. But it's not like you're not. The other thing I'm learning about myself as well, like those things matter. How a car rides matters greatly, right? I've got to have power, but it can't ride like I'm scraping the ground.
Yeah, it can't have like a very stiff suspension.
No.
It's got to be nice and comfy.
Yeah.
It's got to float like a cloud, like the old school. Was it the Crown Vics? A lot of people, those things float.
Crown Vics, Lincoln Continental. I promise you.
Yes.
I promise you, there's a part of me that just wants to buy one, because all these old people, they got them. They got 100,000 miles on them, and they ride.
They float. Like you are literally driving. Like when I worked at
425 horses, but it floats.
Yeah, when I worked at what was the place called? Enterprise, washing the cars and whatnot. That was interesting. One of the cars, I was like, I think I get it. Like,
people don't understand, Lincoln is Ford's luxury brand, and they are the town cars and the
the town cars were good. And I was like,
and they're all so far ahead of their time. I hate that they don't look pretty, and I hate that they're not big like they used to be. Like, okay, this is way off topic, but when they redid, it wasn't the town car. What was the other one? It was the when they redid the sedan Lincolns, they made their seats like bucket seats, and I hated that. Yeah, because that's not a Lincoln. Yeah, that is not a Lincoln. Now, their tech is going to be top of the line. Like in the late 90s, I had an 83 town car, Cartier edition. Yes. It was big enough to have fun in the back, but it was so far ahead of its time. It had everything. You know, it had cruise control. It had one touch down. Yep. Like in the late 90s from an early 80s car. Like it was the junk, and there's a part of me that wants to experience that again, but I gotta have power on the van. And it can't look like it's a defunct spaceship, which the monkeys look like now. Anyhow, don't know how we got here. We're waist deep in stuff that's not on the notes. So let me try to get back to where we're gonna go with this and ask you, have you listened to Cowboy Carter yet?
Can't do it.
What do you mean you can't do it?
I can't do it.
Why can't you do it?
I don't know. Like, I listened, and I haven't even gotten to J. Cole's diss album yet.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that next. Because your boy is embarrassing.
He's not embarrassing. He actually has a conscience, all right?
We're going to get to that. Back to Cowboy Carter. Why can't you listen to it? I don't understand.
Like, me and Beyonce fell off a long time ago.
This is not about Beyonce. This is about blackness at this moment, right? This is about blackness. I'm not asking you to like it. Yeah, that's not what I'm asking. You got put like this. What's your favorite J. Cole album?
2014, Forest Hills Drive.
Okay. Now, for anyone to say that they are interested by any stretch of the imagination in hip hop, you would say you need to listen to this album because you understand just how much that means to hip hop as a whole.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I see where you're going.
Replace Forest Hills with Cowboy Carter. Replace hip hop as a whole with blackness.
With blackness. Okay.
And then, and only say it because the effort that she's gone through to purposely poke her finger in the eye of the genre gatekeepers is it's an amazing feat, and it's brave beyond imagination,
Well,
even for someone of her stature.
Who are these gatekeepers we speak of?
Okay, all of them. So people don't like the fact that she raps.
Okay,
they're gatekeeping that, like she shouldn't be rapping, right? Why she sound like she want to rap? Well, maybe because she wants to rap. It's okay.
It's not any one person's thing.
It's not, and
if she does it well, so maybe, what?
Exactly. If I apply that to songs that are closer to a rock song than an R&B song, you get the same kind of pushback. Or a country song, you get the same kind of pushback.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if they're not overtly black genres, people think, even though country and rock are both overtly black genres at their inception, at their beginning, but if they don't seem that way, now people push back on it. Like, who does she think she is doing this? And my question is, y'all don't give anybody else pushback for this. Like, you don't give Justin Timberlake pushback for,
crossing over to
coming to Timberland doing R&B and then doing Man in the Woods, which is what he really wants to do, and being unsuccessful and coming back. You know what I mean? Like, you don't give Kanye grief for trying to make music for movies, or when he produces a song for a pop star. You know what I mean? You don't give Pharrell.
Or he dips in it's interesting with gospel, because
that pseudo gospel that he did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have some people. It's weird because it's like gospel welcomes a lot of people because it does lend to somewhat notoriety. I mean, okay, certain songs, like I don't remember the one that Kanye did, but I know Monica, she's gone back and forth, with like was it Fred Hammond or James Fortune?
Hey man, people that listen to gospel music are fickle. They're very fickle. They gatekeep very well unless your song slaps. Then they'll let you in, right?
That's true.
Like, I think about it. I think about that a lot with "I Believe I Can Fly," and I remember when I was younger, people singing that in churches, in black churches, and I'm going, "Y'all do know who this Negro is, right? You know why he made this song, don't you?" But it's so inspirational and aspirational. I'm like, he had to make that because he was doing ungodly things with little girls. So, but like she really tries it. Like, there's your lane, there's your genre. And she goes, you know what? I'm going to try this. And she does it honestly. She does it with, producers and artists that are in that genre. And she goes toe to toe with them. And it's, Well,
but I thought, honestly, I would have put Beyonce on, the fact that she could pretty much do what she wants to do. And there shouldn't be gatekeepers. Well, for her, at least. I mean, because of everything she's done already.
Yeah, but so many people dislike her because so many people like her. Like, people dislike her because she's popular and because everybody else likes her music, and the contrarian in them will not allow them to like her.
Interesting.
Because so many other people like her. But also, apparently, she had a close relationship with Prince. Found this out recently. And he was very adamant about sharing with her what the pitfalls are, not just in the music industry, but in spreading your wings and in doing music the way that you want to do it. Because like when she left her father, after she did Force, she started on this journey of doing music how she felt it, right? As opposed to what the genre wanted, what the label wanted, what the genre wanted, what radio wanted. She's like, no, I'm going to do music as I feel it, right? I've been around here long enough that I can make these decisions. And she got mentored by Prince in the process. This being a culmination of her going for it. It's dope. It may not be I listen to this music, everyday album, but you can't deny, like, so many publications have given it 10 out of 10 or 100 out of 100. Right?
Well, so, I mean, what's the relationship to, like, how Michael Jackson did? Like, Michael Jackson could have did anything, like literally anything.
Well, okay. So
he has touched on different genres of music, and nobody really, to a point to where he made his own sound. Like he made his own sound. Like his albums were like his own sound. They weren't like strictly R&B. They weren't strictly rock. It was just like, yes, that's just what Mike did.
So he did. Michael Jackson did in the early 80s what I credit Jay-Z for doing in the mid 90s. Right? Jay-Z brought hip hop to the suburbs, right? That's what he did. He made it cool. He brought the suburbs into hip hop. Not that they weren't there, but he embraced them and he gave them pop hip hop in a way, right? Michael Jackson did the same thing. He was making R&B music with R&B people. He was on Motown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he brought them in. And once you bring them in, then anything that you do from that point on should be widely accepted as pop, because now it's no longer in that specific genre. It is for the wider base audience, right? Beyonce is the same way. The only problem is she's always done it with R&B.
Yeah.
Like she didn't really have to bring people into R&B because the people are already there. Right. The top songs on R&B were always popular songs, even if they didn't make it to the top of the pop 100 charts. But when she did it, her songs went to the pop 100 charts, right? And so it's like, oh my God, what can she do? And people were comfortable with her making R&B / black music, and it rising to the top of the pop 100 charts. They're comfortable with her doing that, but her doing genre breaking music like this album, they're not comfortable with that. And so you got the people that just don't like her because so many people like her, and then people that are bristling because you
need to stay in your lane.
You need to stay in your lane. Why?
Like how I feel driving through Southern Virginia on my way to Norfolk, and you have to stop in like I forget what it's called, like South Piedmont, like whatever. It's like this one gas station in rural Virginia, and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure when I go in here, they can be like, what you doing around these parts, boy? And I'm like, you know what? Nothing.
Why would you stop? Why would you stop? I don't understand.
Hey,
rural Virginia?
There were certain times when, because I was pretty frequent to Norfolk, Virginia. And, my first couple times I was like, well, I got to get gas, so. And
got to plan ahead, buddy.
Look, believe me. After those first couple times, I was like, yeah, not stopping there. Because I just swore that when I got in there, and it was like, yeah, what you doing around these parts, boy? It was like, just leaving.
Look, hey, man, I was just trying to get some gas, homeboy. Let me get some gas and get up out of here. You
know what? I'll just run out of gas and then just call DOT to just bring me a few gallons so I can just keep making it to the next spot. It's just
yeah. But so I've listened to the album quite a few times, and I listened to it on different things, right? On these headphones, on my AirPods, in the car, on my speakers.
Man, he's got AirPods.
I got AirPod Pros. What are you talking about? Come on. I told you, my wife, nice things. I like nice things. So there you go.
Hey, can I join the family? I like nice things too. And I don't even like nice things like on the regular, like every once in a while.
If you're trying to join the family, get adopted, I'm sorry. You got to get on the list. There's a list of people that ironically all are grown with children talking about being on that list. That's neither here nor there. Alligator Tears. Okay, so she's got this song with Post Malone. Okay. That song has been haunting me lately because her background vocals in that song might be the best background vocals I've ever heard her sing.
All right, we'll put
the foreground stuff is good. Don't get it twisted. Foreground stuff is good. The whole song is good. I almost shed a tear the first time I heard it because it felt that good to hear as music. I was driving the other day. It was Saturday. I was coming back. I had a little DJ gig that I had done.
Nice.
Driving back, I was listening to it, and I heard the background, and I had to play it 3 more times. So I was like, I don't believe she just did that. I do not believe she just did that. But she did. And it is like those things, to me, those things make a project valuable, right?
Yeah.
Like my friends in high school were in band.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were always with the, hey, you got to hear this. You got to hear this. I was like, what do you mean? It's like that. What is that? That right there. It's not in the foreground. It's in the background. Don't listen to the vocals. Don't listen to the foreground music. Listen to what's in the background, right? You hear that tap that's offbeat, that's on a 3 and a 7 instead of a 1 and a 2. Yeah, that's what makes this beat amazing. And I'll go, wow. But her vocals, oh my gosh.
I like that, huh?
Like I could listen to that. I could listen to the last minute and a half of that song any day, any time, because her background vocals are so amazing.
You know what? I might have to give this a fair shake.
I'm just saying, even if you don't listen to it anytime after that, after your first listen, there's some things that you'll go, wow, I really appreciate this music.
Right? Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to putting it on my playlist right now.
Yeah.
See what we can do.
What do you want to rap with? You want to rap with Godzilla?
Yeah, please. Let's get to that, because I mean, I am so hyped for it. Like my son has even watched like the Netflix series?
Okay. No, it's Apple TV series. All right,
okay,
listen.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I keep looking at it and I go, I'm not watching that. Because I want to like Godzilla. I've always liked Godzilla. I remember watching Godzilla in black and white. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
And I've watched almost every Godzilla that's been in the movie theaters over the last 15 years. Almost everyone, save for one. So I think it's like 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
This one, and it doesn't help that the last movie that I watched before this was Doom. Doesn't help at all.
True. That doesn't help at all.
When I say the only way I would have enjoyed that movie is if I was high.
Wow. So what did you think of the one before that one, though?
At least I understood it. Like there's ridiculousness in every Godzilla movie because that's the very nature of the context that they're telling this story. Mm-hmm. So I'm willing to allow the ridiculousness to an extent. This movie takes that ridiculousness and pumps it with steroids.
Interesting.
And I'm watching it going, I really want to just watch this and like it. I just can't, because I can't overlook how stupid some of this stuff is. Seriously. It's like when I watch Transformers, there's a level of, there is a willingness to suspend disbelief and not apply the laws of logic and reasoning to a movie.
Hey, there he is.
And you're willing to do that going in, but once the movie reaches that level, then they freaking jump the shark, and it's like I can't. We've all watched the movie. For some people, it's the Fast and the Furious movies. They be like, which one? They be like, all of them. Any of them. Pick one, and I go, yeah. I have a different level of suspicion of disbelief.
I would say the last two have been like kind of out there, but yeah.
The last two have been out there, but their track record is they're going to do ridiculous stuff. So it's not like you don't go in knowing that they're going to do ridiculous stuff. Nothing that adheres to any laws of physics or reasoning.
Yeah, you're right.
But I was watching it. I was watching this Godzilla movie and I was going, this story is so poor that the only reason I'm not asking for my money back is because of the action. And then I'm watching the action one. This action is so ridiculous. So I'm not saying don't go watch. If you're a big Godzilla fan, the way that they set up what will be a future installment, quite possibly with a better storyline, is worth seeing. It's like if you're a big Transformers fan, I'm not saying don't go see Transformers in the movies. I'm not saying that. I am saying though, you need to prepare for what you're going to see and lower your expectations so that you can enjoy the movie. So mine were not low enough.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm a big Godzilla fan, but I will say, and this is showing my age, I remember the Godzilla cartoon that came on the Cartoon Network in the 90s. And that was good to me. But I mean, there's a lot of things where living overseas, first off, we don't get a lot of things in series. They were always jumped. So it was like, yes, I'm a fan of this, but I don't know any of the story because I'm getting it out of context. So when I got over here, I had to rewatch a lot of that stuff and say, oh yeah, I really don't like that. Or yes, I do like that.
I get it. I got you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm going through it myself because I'm just trying to figure it out myself. But I will say that I do want to see it because I've seen the others so far. So I'm the reason why whether it's good or bad, I'm still gonna watch it because I'm pretty invested in the story at this point. So
yeah, sunken cost. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I do want to see, partner? I do want to see this weekend. Civil War comes out this weekend. Matter of fact, it comes out tomorrow, and I'm probably going to go see it tomorrow because I have 2 free movie tickets.
I still want to see Kung Fu Panda.
It is on the you can find it. You could find it out there to watch. See, I caught myself there. Started to say something, didn't say it. You want to know why? Because we're not into self-incriminating. It's not what we do here.
Yeah. We point the finger.
Plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fifth. I still gotta get my wife to watch that.
Really?
Yeah, she still hasn't seen it.
Really? Did she watch Key and Peele at least?
I'm slowly realizing that my wife has no idea what true comedy is.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Like and what's weird about it? I almost think that she doesn't feel like laughing. She doesn't want to laugh.
She just hasn't found her set of comedians yet. Everybody loves comedy. You just have to find the right people. You have to find the right people. Before we go, my heart hurts because I cannot go to Netflix as a joke.
Why not?
Because I don't have the money for it. I can't do it. So you know what Netflix is a joke is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this year I was going to target Earthquake, Dion Cole. It's like 4 people I was going to target, right? Because they have it over like 3 weekends. And I was thinking about going. I may still go, but they just sent me an email. Freaking tickets $25 for the next 48 hours.
Hey man, you better go to those tickets.
Yo, I just looked at the plane tickets. Plane tickets $400, but the show tickets are $25 for the next 48 hours. So I got a little bit of time to decide whether or not I'm willing to invest in that plane ticket and go in a hotel room to stay and all that stuff.
The whole 9. Yep.
Yeah, but I really want to go. Really, really want to go. And if I don't go to Netflix as a joke in Los Angeles, I'll try to catch the one in Toronto later on in the year.
I think if I start going to like comedy shows and festivals and whatnot, I got to start like local first and then work my way up because I do like comedy and I'm pretty sure it's a lot different when it's actually in person.
I was going to say, you've never been to a live comedy show?
One, but yeah. So one time, and this story is going to sound real elitist as I say it, but believe me, it's not. It kind of feels like common occurrence. But my mom got Vanessa Fraction to come over to Germany one time to go with us to Spain, and she did a comedy show in the hotel that we were in, and so that's like the only that's like my first actual comedy show from an actual comedian that I've been to. Okay,
let me tell you this. I try my best to go to 3 to 4 comedy shows a year. Right? 2 small. One big. 2 small, 2 big, right? When I say small, I mean watching your guy or the people that you want to go see at like the Comedy Zone, right? The Comedy Zone in Charlotte. The venue's just big enough for you to enjoy yourself there, right? And like I found out about David Arnold at the Comedy Zone. That dude is funny. Like I saw him at the comedy, I was like, because I wanted to go see some comedy. He was there and the ticket, and I looked him up on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, this dude probably be funny, funny." But I've been to Comedy Zone probably 6 or 7 times in Charlotte.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
6 or 7 times. Well, dude, come on, we was tight, but we weren't really tight like that. We weren't like talking. Yeah. And I figured everybody was doing it, but don't nobody be people. It's like people have to be reminded to go to comedy, right?
Yeah, and
to do that. But there are lots of good comedians out there, and they come to your town because they do it. Dude, I'm looking at the Comedy Zone's website now, and they've got a few coming through in the next 2 months. Like, and it's worth it. Like Daphne Springs.
Oh yeah, she's funny. Yeah,
she's gonna be there on the 27th. She's gonna be funny. Michael Blowenstein. Probably going to be funny. They got Matt Rife is sold out.
Of course he is.
Rife is sold out. They got Arnez Jace coming through there. Arnez Jace going to be funny.
Ooh,
Arnett
Tip
is going
Harris
to be
featuring
funny.
the haha. Who's the haha mafia?
I don't know about all that, but I don't trust him in comedy yet. Like, he ain't been doing it long enough for me to spend my money
Well,
on him being funny. Plus, man, all them big words ain't funny.
Exactly. Yeah,
all them big words are not funny.
That would kill it for me. I'd be like, yo, T, hey man, just stop.
Not funny for me. I need you to. Ooh, August, Jay Farrell is coming through. He's funny in person. He is funny in person.
I'd hope so.
Tony Robbins is coming through. Like, it's late on in the year though. But dude, like, you should. It is worth it. Like, it is worth it. And the crazy thing is, stuff that you wouldn't laugh at watching it on Netflix is somehow infinitely funnier when it's in person. Like,
okay.
Because I know we get into this thing, we watch comedy on Netflix, and some of the jokes be funny, some of them don't, by some of the people that are, they're not upper tier superstars.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm telling you, when you're sitting there and everybody's laughing, you you either ate food or you had drinks, depending upon what your style of steez is.
Yeah.
And you're in there and you had a headliner you had an opener come through and he was kind of funny. But then you get the headliner come through and his stuff is real polished. You just be in there laughing, yo.
Yeah, I will say I love watching like comedy on Netflix or wherever I can find it.
Yeah.
And then I hate the lulls in it because it's like,
Dude. I saw Ali Sadiq. I found him at the Comedy Zone. I was like, let me go see this dude. I followed him ever since. Followed his YouTube page. He's got another special coming out this month on the 19th. I want to say that's he's a good storyteller.
I will say I didn't think I was going to like Joe Coy the way that I do.
He's funny. He's freaking funny.
Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine seeing him in person?
No, I would love to go see Joe Coy in person. Man.
He works the crowd. He's like,
yeah.
There's something like you forget that these guys are professionals and they do this night in, night out.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if it's not your style of funny, it's not your comedy style, it's generally comical, right? Because you got to think they on the road 40 weekends out of the year doing this, and you can't make no money if you're not funny at least half that time. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see. There's the other person I want to go see in
who? Torrey Hart?
No, Gary Owens. Stop it.
Ooh, Gary Owen. Yeah, I would love to see him.
Oh my gosh.
Here's another thing. I do like comedians that have a lot of perspective on Black topics and issues.
Alternate perspective. Yeah.
Like Bill Burr too. Like, oh my God, just absolutely.
Bill Burr's a technician. Hilarious. He's a technician. And he got a black wife. So
yeah.
But dude, you gotta do it. Trust me. It is worth it. All right. Last year, I went to 3 comedy specials. I saw Kevin Hart in Charlotte. I saw Dave Chappelle. 4. I saw Dave Chappelle in DC. I saw David Arnold. I saw Ali Sadiq, and I saw one more person with 5 last year. Yeah, it was a good year for comedy. It's a good year for me for comedy. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that with the wife. We're gonna have to go to a few comedy shows.
Yeah, do it, man. Do it. Oh man, those show notes, they got neglected. All right.
A little bit. Oh, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. But we appreciate y'all. Y'all have
absolutely.
No idea where we're going, but you take the ride with us. And we thank you, as men no longer intimidated by women.
Nah.
In those ways. Next week we should probably talk about the ways in which men intimidate women. Maybe we can have a guest on that can help us with that. I don't know.
That would be cool. Yeah,
wouldn't it be cool?
We should
get a woman's perspective on this.
Yes,
testosterone. Maybe we're missing something.
Yes, maybe it would be nice to have a guest. We'll have to work that out.
We'll have to work that out. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification button. Seek us out on social media because we are there. And make sure to stay fly until next week when we see you guys.
Show.
I'm Steve. This is Don. Thanks for watching. 1155.
See you on the next one.